there's more and more push towards remote work without, I think, a deep understanding of why these meetings are so draining on people. I just anecdotally have heard from that. But maybe that's because the managers, the people who arrange the meetings, are just not sufficiently yet aware of the draining nature of them, so that they pull in too many people, they schedule them too regularly, so they need to adjust that kind of thing probably.
I think people are starting to realize, but I would say one reason that Zoom is so draining is because you can see your own self-presentation the whole time if you choose
Right.
to. And when you go into in person, you can't. So you're
You
kind
can't,
of freed
that's
of
right.
thinking about that.
Oh, that's
So it's like
brilliant.
an extra cognitive load that you're bearing the whole time.
Oh yeah, that's
And like you
brilliant.
might want to, turn off the camera so you can't see yourself, but then you feel like, well, I have the ability to, so I probably should be doing it. And then that alone is a decision that you're making.
Yeah, there's probably studies on this now happening, either have happened or are happening, the effect of seeing your own face on camera, because it's reminding you that you're supposed to be acting a certain way, and
Right.
that
Right.
is
So you can't,
especially a stressful thing.
yeah, you can't be in the moment as much. But I mean, for you make the decision to do all your podcast interviews in person, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
and that's even when it's very costly. If there's any kind of chemistry that contributes at all to the conversation, which I think most conversations have chemistry, even the boring work meetings, there's something there. Because yes, you're trying to solve a particular problem at this particular time, but underneath it, there's a team building that's happening. And honestly, people also have told me about this, why they enjoyed the Zoom meetings during the pandemic, is like they're lonely.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's annoying to have to sit and listen to folks talk about nothing and so on, but they tune in anyway, because it's kind of lonely to sit there by yourself. And that, I mean, there's a deep connection there when you're with other people, and that is especially true when they're in person, which is a huge concern for me, for like more and more offices from a capitalist perspective, realizing, hey, why are we why do we have these large office spaces? Why do we have to get people together? But I think in some deep sense we do. But then you also talk about that once we do, we want to protect the introverts. Like, you don't want the open space, which office space, which was a big fad for a while. I don't know where people stand on that at this point.
Yeah, I think people are figuring it out in a post-pandemic context, but I mean, I know what you mean. So before I became a writer, I was a corporate lawyer for like 7 years. And literally the only thing I miss from those years is hanging out with people at the office. Like, I don't know, just some of the funniest moments I've had in my life came from being at the office until midnight with the other people I was working with. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Though I will say the offices there at that firm and at most firms in those days, everybody had their own office. So it was like a dorm room, where it was like a long hallway with everybody in their own little dorm room.
Mhm.
So you had tons of privacy, but you would also come out and hang out with people.